News Falls Chief Meteorologist Patrick Orr. On AM 1240, Hot News Talk Radio.
You give us 12 minutes and 40 seconds, we'll give you Chattanooga and the world.
News Talk 1240.
Ooh, baby, it's the Mr. Judd Show.
Yes, it is. It is Friday. Happy Friday. And all hell is breaking loose here at Hot News Talk Radio, AM 1240. Oh, my gosh. It's dogs and cats are sleeping together. It's mayhem. It must be the end of the world. The blood moon is coming. Everybody. There's climate change. People need minimum wage. People are getting kicked out of their place. It is. And David Tulis, the one and only David Tulis, is wearing jeans. My goodness, what's going on to this place? It is, I don't even know it. I don't even recognize it. I'm going to pinch myself right quick. That felt good. Okay. All right. You're listening to Hot News Talk Radio, AM 1240. We are the fastest growing talk radio in Chattanooga. That's right. We're growing faster than anyone else. And we dare them. We dare them. We're putting a line in the sand. We dare them to come cross it. Knock this chip off of our shoulder. Best lineup in the city? I mean, bar none do we have the best lineup in the city. Hey, you can listen to us anywhere at any time. And that is on the latest technology. And I'm not talking about your smartphone. I know there's a lot of people, a lot of our listeners out there says, I just got the brand new smartphone. Well, great. I'm glad to hear that. But there's an app and it's free. It's the TuneIn app. And you download it on your smartphone, whether it is an Apple product or a Google product, and you can listen to us anywhere at any time. It's simple. You push on the TuneIn app. Once it's downloaded, type in Hot News Talk Radio, AM 1240, and boom, you can hear us. It's the same signal you're going to hear at hotnewstalkradio.com. So there is no reason not to listen to us anywhere at any time. I will be using the app as I travel out of the listening area when I finish my show today, because it is a beautiful, beautiful day, and it is time to get in the air and fly and make people nervous and shoot rubber bullets at them and bean bags and all kinds of stuff. You know, I may do a little sofa. I got a little sofa with me, drop a sofa on their head. Man, it's going to be great. No, it is Friday, and it's one of those, you know, kind of a feel good. The weather feels great. The humidity's down. The temperature's good. I mean, it's just a great day to be alive here in Chattanooga, Tennessee, unless you happen to be over at that Superior Lodge off of 75. That is a horrible, horrible thing where 1,500 people are displaced. And I know David Tulis has just taken 2 hours on that and really went out, as he does, and gathered the information that you need. But these people need some help. And, you know, if there's a way you can help them, that would be great. Contact the Salvation Army. That is probably the best way to help folks is through, if they can't help, if they will not take your help directly, they will put you in the right direction so you can help these people. And listening to David's show and listening to all that this is going on, I mean, it is a horrible situation, but at the same time, I think it's almost, you know, a perfect storm, a comedy of errors that have happened. I know East Ridge absolutely handled this thing wrong. You know, whether you agree or disagree what they did was right or wrong, the way they handled it, that's what I'm talking about. Just the PR portion of that was handled absolutely wrong. Did the ownership handle it right? No, the ownership did not handle it right at all. So you got the owners not handling it right, not taking care of the matters in hand that they should have. You got East Ridge that it almost looks like they wanted this place closed, and maybe for a good reason. I don't know. But when they couldn't do it one way, they were like little kids and stamped their feet and said, we're going to get you. And so, you know, they went in there and found another way. And then to start kicking these people out in the middle of a thunderstorm on Wednesday night and giving them such short notice yesterday. I mean, it's ridiculous. You know, if the structure was falling in the way they said, then why didn't they do this 3 months ago? Why didn't they do this 3 weeks ago? But, you know, at least give these people some notice and let them know, hey, this is what's coming. And, but I think it was, as they say, it was a urinating contest between the ownership in East Ridge, and the tenants were the ones in the middle. And I hate to hear that. And, you know, as David said, a lot of these people are probably, you know, down on their luck and probably not. I mean, they're the one, they don't have the means of anywhere else that quickly. And you hate to hear that. So we hope that, you know, everything's well in there. Contact the Salvation Army. Also, you can contact, I believe it was in today's paper, the Methodist Church there in East Ridge. It's East Ridge United Methodist Church and Spring Creek Baptist. So both of those organizations will help out. So let's help these people. I mean, 1,500 people, that's a lot of people to be displaced in a hurry. And it's also a lot of people that, you know, I mean, are on the verge of homelessness. And we hear that all the time. I mean, that's kind of bandied around in our society where you're one paycheck away or you're $2 away from being homeless. But these people are really kind of walking that tightrope. So let's get out and help them, Chattanooga, because that's what we do here in the scenic city, the most beautiful city in America, the jewel of the South, Chattanooga, Tennessee. I have a caller. Hold on just a second. Let's see who is calling in here.
It's East Ridge.
Hello. You're on the air, caller.
Yeah, well, I don't know how long you've been here in Chattanooga, but a number of years back, over off of Cherokee, they had the Cherokee Motel that had almost exactly same thing, where the city of Chattanooga had been trying to close this motel down for a long time because it had a lot of prostitution going on at it. But it also had, you know, people that, you know, couldn't afford a regular place that were also living there, kind of like at this place. And the city just went in there and just, with no warning, just threw everybody out on the street and closed the place down because they wanted it gone. So it's very reminiscent of what happened in Chattanooga several years back.
It is, and I was living here at the time. I was actually living in North Chattanooga when that happened. And I think it's one of those things where, you know, it's there was a nuisance there at the Cherokee Motel, and I don't think the ownership handled it right. And so, you know, when you get on the wrong side of the city, they have a little bigger stick. Whether they should have it or not is another discussion, but they do have a little bigger stick, and you're on the wrong side of it. And who gets trapped in the middle are the people that are living there.
Yeah. Well, the one question that I have about this latest incident is you have city inspectors that are supposed to be keeping up with this. They're supposed to make yearly fire inspections, you know, where the fire department goes around to different places. How did this get into such bad shape that they had to close it down immediately after all these years? I mean, somebody in the city was not doing their job to let it get to that a situation. So what's going to happen because somebody in the city wasn't doing their job?
I agree. Like I said at the beginning, I think East Ridge is just as much responsible for this, but I think it come down to the fact that they didn't get to close it because they were trying to get it a public nuisance, and the judge didn't rule in their order that way. So they said, well, let's go around and do the inspection thing and close them down that way, is what I think. Yeah. But you're right. They should have been doing those inspections yearly.
You can see that a little bit in the fact that they did this late in the evening so that the owners had no recourse. You know, by the time the owners knew what was going on, it was too late in the day for them to get a hold of lawyers or, you know, anything of that nature. It was just, you know, it was staged. This was not just some accidental, just, oh, you're about to fall down, we need to save everybody. It was staged by the city.
Hey, and I agree, but the most impressive thing about it is that, think about this, government employees were actually working past 5. Now that's something that we need to look at too. I mean, you don't see that at all.
Overtime, especially when it's taxpayer-funded overtime.
That's right. That's right. So, I mean, I think it was just, as I said, there's fault on the owner's portion, but the city of East Ridge, I think they're going to, they got to bear a lot of this, the brunt of a lot of this. And I think those tenants may,
exactly right.
I'm anxious to see how this plays out. Well, thank you for calling.
Yeah.
Okay. That was good. He brought up some good points, and he's right. The Cherokee Motel was a similar situation where they try to close it down one avenue, and if that doesn't work, it seems like they always fall back to the city inspector who has all this all-knowing power, and you have to bow before the graces of the great city inspector because no one can go against them in these type of situations. So it's going to be interesting. Did East Ridge leave themselves open for some maybe major litigation with the tenants and who knows, maybe even the owners? The owners, are they open? Have they left themselves open for some major litigation? So this is really going to be interesting how this plays out in East Ridge. And, fortunately enough, today and tomorrow looks like it's going to be good weather. So hopefully these people will be able to at least get back in and get all of their belongings. Because, if you're living in a weekly stay motel, you probably don't have a lot of belongings. And so it'd be very important for these people to get as much of those things out of there as they can. So let's keep these folks in your thoughts and prayers over the weekend. And who knows, maybe we can find a way to help them when we return on Monday, which I will not be here Monday. Next week, as we know, I'm on the Mr. Judd tour. So I thank the radio station for giving me the leeway to do that. I also have an update for you. The adolescent is still in Phoenix, and I'll give you an update. And then we're going to talk about some other odd news. There's a really, really odd story out of India I think we need to touch on, and it's going to be interesting how I do this because, like I said, it's a very, very interesting story.
After airs the morning fog, another warm day for your Friday with some sunshine, highs near 85 tonight. Some more quick passing showers and thunder showers move through, lows near 65. For the weekend, clouds, a passing shower possible early Saturday, otherwise breezy and fall-like through Sunday, highs near 70. Looking for a church home? Visit Abba's House in Hickson this Sunday for Connection Day, a fun day to learn about what's available for your family at church. For more, abbashouse.com. And I'm WDEF News Falls Chief Meteorologist Patrick Orr on AM 1240 Hot News Talk Radio.
You give us 12 minutes and 40 seconds, we'll give you Chattanooga and the world.
News Talk 1240.
Hi, I'm Rebecca Costa, host of the Costa Report every Sunday at 9 a.m. My guest this week took over as Executive Director of the American Civil Liberties Union 7 days before the 9/11 attacks. Anthony Romero will be here to talk about the growing need to protect liberties guaranteed by the Constitution. Don't miss an honest look at post 9/11 America right here on AM 1240 Hot News Talk Radio.
Here you are, working to keep your customers happy and to manage your cash flow. IRS problems are the last thing you need, but here they are, flapping about you like vultures. Get help from Eric Pelton and his team of accountants at E.J. Pelton Company. Audits, letters, proposed return changes, 1099s, penalty threats. Pelton Tax Resolution Services brings peace of mind and helps you keep more of what you've earned. EJPelton.com. Offices on Brainerd Road and in Saudi Daisy, just north of the Bilo. That's E.J. Pelton. Call 622-3156. Think ahead, 622-3156.
When my brother and I opened the first Jets Pizza, we believed if we made the best pizza, customers would find us. So we made fresh dough each day, used fresh toppings, and premium mozzarella cheese. 300-plus stores later, we still do.
Try Jet's famous 8-corner pizza with premium mozzarella cheese and one topping, now just $11.99 for a limited time only. Jet's Pizza, the best pizza in town. 3600 Hickson Pike.
Life is short. Eat better pizza.
Let's get Jets. Are you tired of working in corporate America, or have you recently lost your job and would like to consider owning your own business? If you are, please call me, as I can help you look at franchises or business opportunities that fit you, the economy that we're in, and the type of businesses that are right in the greater Chattanooga area. After I help my clients find the right opportunity, I also help them find the best way to finance the business, including paying yourself through the startup phase. If you would like to learn more about opportunities that may be right for you, please call me for a free assessment. My name is Bruce Krebs at the Entrepreneur Source. Phone number is 423-875-5621.
If you have the DTs, the shakes, because your phone is on the fritz, you have nomophobia. You need help. Your telecom doctor is in. Cell Surgeon at Northgate Mall. Cell Surgeon yanks open the ribcage of your phone, pries out the dead heart, and puts in the beating life that you lead on your cell phone. Broken screen, phone not charging, water damage, battery given out? Cell Surgeon at Northgate Mall next to Old Chicago Pizza. Check us out on Facebook. Open Sunday. Cell Surgeon. We bring your phone back to life. Mention Hot News Talk Radio and get 10% off.
This is America Now with Meghan McCain.
Al Gore running is crazy. You're flying around in your private jet all over the world, and you want average Americans to care about the environment. Don't you think you should be doing your part as well?
Meghan McCain, weekdays at 7 p.m.
You give us 12 minutes and 40 seconds, we'll give you Chattanooga and the world.
News Talk 1240.
Ooh, baby, it's the Mr. Judd Show.
Yes, it is. You're listening to Hot News Talk Radio, AM 1240. And I mean, it's just a wild day here at Hot News Talk Radio. As you know, Digital Drive will not be on at noon. The adolescent is still standing guard in Phoenix. And I'm sure you've seen, he's been all over the news. He's been on CNN and Fox, and he's got he's got that big poncho on that he wears. And then he's got this big cowboy hat, I don't know what it is he's wearing. And it looks like he's marching off to fight in the American-Mexican War, the way he's dressed. But I tell you what, Phoenix is safer to have him there. So there will not be a Digital Drive. So don't get too upset. He'll be back on Monday, and I'm sure he's going to have tales of woe. Also, the great David Tulis, who, has the David Tulis Show from 9 to 11 every day here on Hot News Talk Radio, AM 1240. That's every weekday. Just told me that the Chattanooga News and Review has called him some disparaging remarks. They're calling him a bigot. They're calling him all kinds of terrible things because of he had posted something. And look, if you want to know what it is, you want to read the article, go to Nooganomics.com. Go to Nooganomics.com. And you read it and you determine for yourself. But it was about an interview he had here on the radio station, I believe on Wednesday. Very nice interview with a lady. Her and her husband have 9 kids. And they were talking about, they were Christians, and they kind of made a reference, and David did too, about Islam, and which was good and fine. And really no big deal. It wasn't anything controversial. And he took some of those quotes, and as he does, he writes a nice article. And now they're calling him all these names. So what I'm thinking is when I get off the air, I'm going to call Tex, and me and him, we're just going to go down there and whip somebody's ass is what we're going to do. They're messing with DT, the one and only, the David. I mean, they're not going to do that. I'm his enforcer anyway. So they've crossed the line. So I'm just going to tell you, I'd be a little uneasy this weekend if I were you guys down there, and cussing at him, man, that just does not sit well with me. Now I can get all wound up. I can cuss with the best of them. But I mean, you're talking about David Tulis, the mild-mannered editor of Nooganomics, and you're going to get rough with him? I don't think so. So Tech's probably going to be getting a call from me, and we'll have to get a little redneck on them, and that's okay. That's why I'm here. That's what they brought me in for, is to give you that hour of redness when it needs to happen. So wow, I mean, it has just been a heck of a day here on Hot News Talk Radio. We got a lot of stuff going on here. Of course, it's 9/11. The next segment I'm going to replay. I've been asked over and over. I played the 3 things you need to know about Islam last week, and I've been asked, please play it again. So in commemoration of 9/11 and the heinous attacks that happened to our country on this day, we're going to play that in probably the next segment. And then we've got some odd and weird news. It's just one of those days where, it's we're getting close to the blood moon, so you better watch out. The end of the world's coming. Hey, you got the Mocs. They're playing this weekend. They're playing tomorrow, so get out and support them. Tough loss to Jacksonville State last week, and so this week, they're going to try to bounce back. They're playing Mars Hill, and they're playing at Finley Stadium, and that's a 1 p.m. kickoff. Now, that gets you before the Alabama game. It gets you before the Tennessee game. It gets you before the Georgia game. Well, I think the Georgia game is the same time. But, I mean, get down and support the Mocs. I know they let you down last week, but that's no reason to give up on them, so get down and support them. Tonight, you need to get out to AT&T Field. The Chattanooga Lookouts, who won last night, they're in the playoffs. We have 2 playoffs games here. We had one last night. We have one tonight. Get down and support them. Let them go up 2-0. They'll go to Montgomery, beat them 3-0. Then they're in the championship game. So get out and support our local teams here in the beautiful, scenic city of Chattanooga. And do not forget that NASCAR is actually tomorrow night. It's on Saturday night, and we are the official NASCAR station here at Hot News Talk Radio, AM 1240. And that's going to be at 7:30. And it is the Federated Auto Parts 400 at Richmond. A night race at Richmond's always fun. I mean, that is a great race. And it's on that weird NBC station that nobody knows where it is, or even if they have it or if they don't have it, but we know where it's going to be. And it's going to be right here at Hot News Talk Radio. And then Sunday, I mean, man, it's packed weekend. It's a packed weekend just here on the radio show. I mean, we got Set the Hook tomorrow, you know, at noon, and then all day from 12:30 all the way till midnight, we've got football, NFL football on Sunday. And it starts with the Redskins. All you Redskins fans out there, they're going to be on at 12:30. We have the Raiders playing. I think they're on at like 3:45 and then we're going to end it up with the dreaded Cowboys, who finish up the evening, and the Giants and the Cowboys. That's going to be a big game. So go Giants. Go Giants. We don't want the Cowboys to win a game. No. And so, hey, if you want all your sports fix, there's only one place to find it. It's the only local radio sports show this early in the day, and it's from 1 to 2, and that's Clutch with Keon Rose. So make sure you listen to Clutch with Keon Rose, 1 o'clock. You're going to have kind of that lull since Digital Drive won't be here, but just think of the stories the adolescents got to tell us. He is defending Phoenix against that horrible coward that is randomly shooting out there, which is that's just terrible. Terrible to hear. Now, after the break, don't forget, I am going to play the 3 things you need to know about Islam. You need to listen to this. I don't care if you're a Christian or non-Christian, even if you're Islamic, maybe you need to listen to this. Maybe you have been practicing your religion wrong. I don't know. I'm not accusing anybody. I've already put a call into the White House. I've asked Hussein Obama if he would like to listen to this. I'll be more than happy to send him one. I mean, I'd be more than happy to send it to him. I know he listens to the show. I mean, I know he does, and I don't blame him. I would listen to the show if I were him too. But, maybe Hussein will be listening to this, and we're talking about our community organizer in chief, that great human being, the one has brought us together more than ever. Do you not feel like you just love your neighbor and other people just because he's in office? Bull. Anyway, can't say that on the air. NASCAR this weekend, 7:30 Saturday night. Don't forget, it's not Sunday, it's Saturday night. You're listening to the Mr. Judd Show. This is AM 1240, Hot News Talk Radio. The hottest, the newsiest, the talkingest radio station. And we have sports. A weekend full of sports here on Hot News Talk Radio.
You give us 12 minutes and 40 seconds, we'll give you Chattanooga and the world.
News Talk 1240.
After areas of morning fog, another warm day for your Friday with some sunshine, highs near 85 tonight. Some more quick passing showers and thunder showers move through, lows near 65. For the weekend, clouds, a passing shower possible early Saturday, otherwise breezy and fall-like through Sunday, highs near 70. Looking for a church home? Visit Abba's House in Hickson this Sunday for Connection Day, a fun day to learn about what's available for your family at church. For more, abbashouse.com. And I'm WDEF News Falls Chief Meteorologist Patrick Orr on AM 1240 Hot News Talk Radio.
Social media, we're on that. Hot News Talk Radio on Facebook, at Hot News Talk Radio on Twitter. Download the TuneIn app and follow us anywhere at any time. AM 1240 Hot News Talk Radio.
Compass Media Network's coverage of the NFL. Hi, this is Jerry Recco. Join Kevin Ray, Danny White, and myself for all the action.
Hot News Talk 1240.
If it's the NFL, it's right here.
You give us 12 minutes and 40 seconds, we'll give you Chattanooga and the world.
Hot News Talk 1240.
If the South would have won, we'd have had it made. I'd probably run for president of the Southern states. The day Elvis passed away would be our national holiday. If the South would have won, we'd have had it made.
NASCAR, Laura Ingraham.
Fox News Radio, I'm Karen McHugh. Remembering 9/11, ceremonies in Shanksville, Pennsylvania, the Pentagon in New York City, reading the names of nearly 3,000 killed, marking the moments that planes hijacked by terrorists hit their intended targets, brought down skyscrapers, and crashed when passengers fought back. In Phoenix, the number of vehicles struck by a possible serial shooter is now 11. The gunfire happening along I-10. Bus driver Robert McDonald Jr. says he heard a loud pop and pulled over and called his dispatcher.
Told him, I said, look, it's possible I may have been shot at. I have something here that wasn't on my pre-trip.
A bullet hole was found in the bus. Authorities are calling it domestic terrorism. It's no mas for the mayor of Baltimore.
I've made the decision not to seek re-election.
Stephanie Rawlings Blake announcing she intends to concentrate in the upcoming trials in the wake of last spring's riots following the death of Freddie Gray in police custody. Fox News. We report, you decide.
You give us 12 minutes and 40 seconds, we'll give you Chattanooga and the world.
News Talk 1240.
Ooh, baby, it's the Mr. Judd Show.
Yes, it is. Wow, that's a surprise. The mayor of Baltimore is not running again. She's done such a fine job. I bet the people there are just at a loss. Oh, you're listening to Hot News Talk Radio, 1240 a.m. We are the biggest, the baddest on the block right now. Yes, we are. There's no one like us in this city, maybe even in the Southeast. Look, today is 9/11, September the 11th, and we know what happened 14 years ago today. A tragedy, an attack, a terrorist attack, a attack by Islamic, not extremists, just believers, Islamic believers attacked our country. And I played something last week that everyone should know. And it's the three things that everybody should know about the Islamic faith. And I think right now would be a good time to play that, to kind of put this back in perspective, because sometimes we get so far removed and political correctness gets in, and you can't say this and you can't say that, and you're this and you're that. And, you know, I kind of have the Donald Trump attitude, the heck with that. Yes, I can, because the reality is we're at war with Islam. Like it or not, we are with war. That is what their so-called religion teaches us, teaches them. They have to be at war with us. We are the infidels. All right, without further ado, let's take a moment and listen to this.
1. Islam has not been hijacked. That Islam has been hijacked is what non-Muslims naturally assume, because they assume all religions are the same. The reason non-Muslims are so easily confused is that most of us don't realize the difference between the Quran and every other religious book we are familiar with. The Christian Bible is a collection of writings from various authors, written sometimes hundreds of years apart, with parables, advice, and dreams, all collected together into one book. Same with the Jewish Torah. Even those of us in the West, who are neither Christians nor Jews, are still familiar enough with these religions to know this much, and therefore we assume the same is true for the Quran. But the Quran is only one book written by one man in his own lifetime. It is meant to be taken literally, and it's not full of symbolism or vague analogies. It is mostly direct commands. Of course, the Quran contains contradictory statements, just like other religious books. But the Quran itself provides the reader with a way to know what to do with the contradictions. It's explained in the Quran that if you have two passages that contradict each other, the one written later supersedes the one written earlier. Most Westerners are unaware that the peaceful, tolerant passages were written early in Muhammad's prophetic career. According to the Quran, those passages have been abrogated by later, more violent and less tolerant passages. So, when most Westerners hear jihadists quoting violent passages from the Quran, and then peaceful Muslims quoting peaceful passages, they interpret that the way they would if someone was quoting the Bible or the Torah. They think to themselves, oh, there must be many different and contradictory passages, like there are in other religious books, so Muslims can pick and choose what they like and justify whatever actions they want to take. But the Quran is nothing like that. There is no picking and choosing. It says very explicitly and in no uncertain terms that a Muslim must not alter or ignore any part of its very clear and direct message, or they will burn in a fiery torment forever. 2. Striving to institute worldwide Sharia law is a religious duty. Many people don't realize how politically oriented Islam is at its core. In fact, Islam is less of a religion than it is a religious ideology. It includes a mandatory and highly specific legal and political plan for the whole society, Sharia. There is no separation between the religious and the political in Islam. Rather, Islam and Sharia constitute a totalitarian means of ordering society at every level, including ritual worship, transactions and contracts, morals and manners, beliefs and punishments. In the Quran, Allah makes it clear that man-made governments, such as a democracy, and free speech, such as criticizing the Quran, are abominations and must be eliminated. The modern expression creeping Sharia is used to describe the slow, deliberate and methodical advance of Islamic law in non-Muslim countries. Official Sharia courts already operate in the UK, handling cases ranging from divorce and financial disputes to domestic violence. Attempts to introduce Sharia in the legal system in Germany, Sweden and other European countries are ongoing. While Sharia already has a foot in our door in the matter of minor disputes like inheritance and domestic violence, it should concern you that Sharia commands that drinkers and gamblers should be whipped, allows husbands to hit their wives, allows an injured plaintiff to exact legal revenge, literally an eye for an eye, commands that a thief must have a hand cut off, commands that homosexuals must be executed, orders unmarried fornicators to be whipped and adulterers to be stoned to death, orders death for both Muslim and non-Muslim critics of Muhammad, the Quran, and even Sharia itself, orders apostates to be killed, commands offensive, aggressive, and unjust jihad. As written in the Quran, Sharia is the law of Allah. Any other form of government is a sin. It is the duty of every Muslim to keep striving until all governments have been converted to Sharia law. Three, Muslims are allowed to deceive non-Muslims if it helps Islam. For non-Muslims, this principle, called taqiyya, is another surprising concept of Islam. While most other religions speak highly of truthfulness, the Quran instructs Muslims to lie to non-Muslims about their beliefs and their political ambitions to protect and spread Islam. There are many examples of today's Islamic leaders saying one thing in English for the Western press and then saying something entirely different to their own followers in Arabic a few days later. Deceiving the enemy is always useful in war, and Islam is at war with the non-Islamic world until the whole world follows Sharia law. All non-Muslims living in non-Islamic states are therefore enemies. So deceiving Westerners is totally acceptable, even encouraged, if it can forward the goals of the spread of Islam. As a recent example, the Islamic American Relief Agency was seemingly raising money for orphans, but in fact giving the money to terrorists. They deceived good-hearted Western infidels into giving money to organizations that were actively killing Western infidels. Do the research yourself. This is not an isolated case. Islam as a religion of peace. Muslim organizations worldwide often declare that Islam is a religion of peace. But what does that really mean? It seems easy for a Muslim to quote a peaceful verse from the early part of the Quran, while, by following the principle of taqiyya, neglecting to mention the fact that it has been officially abrogated by later, more violent verses. According to the Quran, the world will be at peace only when Islam and Sharia reign in every country, and never until then. This is why every Muslim can truthfully say that Islam is a religion of peace. If any of these points took you by surprise, then there is surely much more you still don't know. This subject will affect you in the near future, so take the chance to inform yourself now before it does.
I think that's very appropriate for today, being 9/11 and what happened on this date 14 years ago, where so many of our fellow Americans were killed because in the name of their religion. And I think that we need to know more about their religion and it not be glossed over, not be spoon-fed and sugar-coated to us by the media, and more importantly, by the Hussein administration. I know on Twitter we call him insane, but he's Hussein. Barack Hussein Obama. I mean, it's all good. It's all well. Don't look at this. We're doing well in ISIS. And then it comes out we're not. I mean, think about it. Think about what is he doing to the infidels? Are we the infidels to him? And is he doing this? Oh no, it's a religion of love. Is he doing that to us? Just 14 years after what happened on this tragic day? Don't forget, on the 16th of this month, which is Wednesday, we're having the big celebration for the families and for the Marines and naval personnel that lost their life here in Chattanooga, our own attack from Islam. You're listening to Hot News Talk Radio, AM 1240.
You give us 12 minutes and 40 seconds, we'll give you Chattanooga and the world.
News Talk 1240.
After areas of morning fog, another warm day for your Friday with some sunshine, highs near 85 tonight. Some more quick passing showers and thunder showers move through, lows near 65. For the weekend, clouds, a passing shower possible early Saturday, otherwise breezy and fall-like through Sunday, highs near 70. Looking for a church home? Visit Abba's House in Hickson this Sunday for Connection Day, a fun day to learn about what's available for your family at church. For more, abbashouse.com. And I'm WDEF News Falls Chief Meteorologist Patrick Orr on AM 1240 Hot News Talk Radio.
This is America Now with Meghan McCain.
Al Gore running is crazy. You're flying around in your private jet all over the world, and you want average Americans to care about the environment. Don't you think you should be doing your part as well?
Meghan McCain, weekdays at 7 p.m.
You give us 12 minutes and 40 seconds, we'll give you Chattanooga and the world.
News Talk 1240.
Sky Aerial Services uses advanced drone technology to give you a better perspective and depth of your property and project. We offer aerial photography and video for your business, farm, home, or advertising campaigns, as well as editing services to complete the experience. Call us at 423-521-0284 and see how we can help you tell your story about your business, property, or project. We work with real estate professionals, both commercial and residential, developers, engineer inspectors, surveyors, ad agencies, auto and boat dealers, mapping services, insurance inspectors, corporate marketing, charity events, weddings, and photographers. Our consultation is free. Call 423-521-0284. That's 423-521-0284, or visit our website, skyaerialservices.com. Sky Aerial Services. The sky is our limit. Social media, we're on that. Hot News Talk Radio on Facebook, at Hot News Talk Radio on Twitter. Download the TuneIn app and follow us anywhere at any time. AM 1240, Hot News Talk Radio.
Tired of insurance companies? Tired of doctors that won't spend time with you? Do something different. Leave the sick care model of medicine and come to Dr. Danielle Mitchell, the Chattanooga Sports Institute and Center for Health, where we're interested in long-term health solutions, not the quick fixes. Come see me, Dr. Danielle Mitchell, at the Chattanooga Sports Institute and Center for Health. I'm all about the long-term healthcare solutions and doing what's best. On the web, you can find me at ChattanoogaSportsInstitute.com. That's ChattanoogaSportsInstitute.com. Or call us at 875-1005, 875-1005, or find us on social media, Facebook, Dr. Danielle Mitchell, or the ChattanoogaSportsInstitute.com. Let's go, ya!
We've got a table here at Delia's and Saudi Daisy, ready to delight in a plate of authentic Mexican food. Delia's spreads a rich selection: loaded nachos, crazy chicken, homemade tamales, maybe the enchiladas with beef, chicken, pork, quesadillas. Every dish beautifully pictured on the menu to help us decide. Join us for lunch or dinner. We're at Delia's and Saudi Daisy on Dayton Pike near the Thrasher Light. Here's dinner. Delia's uses the freshest ingredients, cooked to perfection. Nachos, homemade. Delia's open every day except the Lord's Day. For lunch and dinner, treat yourself to Delia's genuine Mexican food. In Saudi, call 521-7145. That's 521-7145.
Hi, I'm David Tulis, inviting you to make the move with me 9 to 11 a.m. weekdays here at AM 1240 Hot News Talk Radio. The David Tulis Show, featuring Nooganomics.com for Chattanooga and beyond. 9 to 11 a.m. weekdays.
You want more business. You want to increase your bottom line. You want to spend less on advertising, imaging your business, and general expenses. You need Trade Bank. Trade Bank of Chattanooga. Trade Bank. Call now to get access to nearly 400 local businesses. Trade Bank. Call 877-2202. 877-2202. Trade Bank. You want to increase your cash flow, your competitive edge, attract new customers, and build a loyal customer base. You need Trade Bank of Chattanooga. Call right now, 877-2202. When you join Trade Bank, you'll get the benefit of free advertising in our monthly magazine, TradeBank.com, emails, and mailouts. Join Trade Bank now and receive your Trade Bank debit card with trade credits to spend any way you want with our wide variety of Trade Bank partners. For almost 30 years, Trade Bank has been your voice for small business, a member of the American Bankers Association, and in good standing with you. Trade Bank of Chattanooga. Call now for a free consultation, 877-2202. That's 877-2202. Trade Bank of Chattanooga.
You give us 12 minutes and 40 seconds, we'll give you Chattanooga and the world.
News Talk 12.
Ooh, baby, it's the Mr. Judd Show.
Yes, it is, here on Hot News Talk Radio, AM 1240. Hey, you can follow us on Twitter. You can follow us on Facebook. That's tough to remember. If you're going to follow us on either Twitter or Facebook, it's really tough. It's Hot News Talk Radio. That's right, Hot News Talk Radio. So follow us on Facebook. You want to be part of our Twitterverse, because if you see something out there, we want to hear about it. We're going to put it out for everybody to see that, and we'll let Chattanooga and the world decide. And who knows, if it's something big and breaking, then you might be a reporter on the radio also. Don't forget about the TuneIn app. That way you can listen to us anywhere you go. That's right. You remember the old transistor radios where you could take it with you and listen to us? Favorite radio station wherever, you can do that on your smartphone. It's very simple. And most people during the day are listening to us at hotnewstalkradio.com. That's kind of a theme. Hot News Talk Radio is kind of a theme. We're on Twitter as Hot News Talk Radio. Facebook is Hot News Talk Radio. And then we're on hotnewstalkradio.com. And then you go to the TuneIn app and it's Hot News Talk Radio. Wow, we have a heck of a marketing crew here. I mean, our marketing department, they're huge, probably overpaid, but, they do their job well. Do not forget the digital drive will not be after me today. Should be back on Monday. The adolescent is fighting the good fight in Phoenix. So we appreciate that out of him as he is protecting the good people of Phoenix from that random shooting that is going on. But after, from 1 to 2, Clutch will be here giving you your first dose of local sports here in the Chattanooga area. After him, you got Laura Ingraham. And then at 3 o'clock, we have Sean Hannity. And then do not forget from 6 to 7, we have Tex. It's Cowboy up with Tex. So you got to get your Tex on. He's going to be ready to go. Last night, we carry NFL football here. Last night was the first NFL game. And on Sunday, we have 3 games. You're going to be able to listen to the Cowboys. You're going to be able to listen to the Raiders. You're going to be able to hear the Redskins. Keon Rose of Clutch is a huge Redskins fan. I didn't tell you that, but he is. I know we're all sorry to hear that. Was there a controversy last night as the New England Patriots take the field against the Pittsburgh Steelers? Yes. Yes. Thursday night, the headsets did not work. It didn't matter that the Patriots beat the Steelers by a touchdown at home with Tom Brady, a guy who I would say is probably one of the best quarterbacks ever. I would believe that statement. Playing probably the greatest season opener of his career. I mean, think about that. He's had a pretty good career. It didn't matter that on multiple plays, the Steelers appeared to forget to cover Rob Gronkowski, the #1 tight end in football. Yeah, I'd forget. I wouldn't cover him either, who scored 3 touchdowns. It's the headsets, right? Well, what happened is the Patriots broadcast was bleeding over on the coach's headsets, and the Steelers complained. But as the article says, after the game, the NFL explained that they provided the headsets to both teams, and the issue was one that was affected by both teams, did affect both teams due to the rainy conditions that set up in Gillette Stadium. What kind of headsets are the NFL using? You'd think they could afford some good headsets that the rain didn't bother. But anyway, so once again, they're going to point the fingers at the Patriots. And I believe, I mean, you can think they cheated here, they didn't cheat there. I think a lot of people are just jealous. You got Bill Belichick, who goes out and he never has, he's had 1 or 2 stars, but he normally gets the players that are older. They're on the downside of their career, and he goes out and wins championships. Tom Brady, he's got a killer looking supermodel wife. He's rich. He's a good looking young man, and he's the best quarterback in football. And I don't think people aren't jealous. And that is why they want to find something wrong with the Patriots. But I think this is funny because Mike Tomlin of the coach for the Steelers is complaining about it, but the NFL goes, well, wait a minute, that was our deal. We're the ones that handed those out. So undoubtedly they had some from like 10 years ago they were using. Oh, the NFL, they're not doing a whole lot of things right now, are they?
Have you been struggling to lose weight? Are you tired of using fad diets and getting nowhere? We have a diet that is guaranteed to work and has been around since the beginning of time. Our diet is Decomposure. That's right, Decomposure. Guaranteed to work, and it's been around since Cain and Abel. As with all diets, please consult your physician or psychiatrist. Remember, Decomposure, the diet that's guaranteed to work every time.
And, we had Danielle Mitchell of the Chattanooga Sports Institute in here. You need to go by and see her. She's a great physician. Now, I don't think she recommends this diet, but I know a lot of people do. So I'm almost sure she does not recommend this diet, but I know it works, and it's been proven to work. So I would suggest, finding out more about the Decomposure diet. Okay. Now, here's one I got to tiptoe. I don't know why they give me this story. Why would you give me this story? But this is from the Daily Mail, which is a UK publication, and it says, farmer urinating in a field is left in agony after a snake bites him on the manhood, where he's the penis. Okay. So first of all, how tall is this man? Or we could look at it another way, which we're not going to. But how in the world do you not see a snake? I mean, I've had to go before, and I've had to go in a hurry and feel like I'm not going to make it. All guys, though, you're doing the little pee-pee dance, and man, I got to go. Here we go. But I'm thinking I would see a venomous snake. It has happened in India. And it says the farmer was bitten by a venomous viper. That'd be nice. Of all places to bite. But now there is an upside to this. And it says the doctor said his pee was swollen and blistered due to the bite. See, there you go. Who needs Viagra? Maybe you just buy a viper. Think about it. Think of the money you'd save. Plus, you get rid of all the rats anyway. He was given an antivenom to stop the blood from clotting from the poison. Days later, he had black wounds where the fangs had caused his flesh to die. Now, there is an after effect that I don't know that your wife, girlfriend, or significant other would enjoy that. But still, I want to know. I mean, like I said, I've had to go. But I want to know, what in the world was this guy thinking that he didn't see the viper? I mean, snakes are something, especially in India where they're everywhere. So you're going to have a keen eye for it. But I mean, and granted, you got to go. And I guess this guy had to go, and chomp, chomp, all of a sudden, he is bit by a snake. And this is a story you don't really want to tell. You know, he was probably not wanting to tell this. I'm sure the physician or someone else told this. That is not a line I would get in to tell. Yes, I've had a snake bite, and it is here. I mean, there's so many things I can say here that the FCC would probably shut us down. So I'm not. That's why I said I'm treading on this story lightly. And I'm getting the program director saying, going to something else, Mayor, go now, run to something else. But no, we need to stay here just for one moment and go back and say the 46-year-old man came into the emergency room at the hospital. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine? You know, when you sit down in the emergency room and they ask you, they're doing the triage thing and what's wrong? And I don't know. Those would be hard words. This is hard for me to read, but those would be hard words to come out of my mouth. Well, I was bit by a viper. Where? Well, let me give you a hint. I was urinating at the time, and boom. I mean, that would just be really tough. Hey, I want to remind you that tonight the Lookouts play. Make sure you get down there and support the Lookouts. It's a playoff game. They win tonight. They take a 2-0 lead, and they go back to Montgomery, and then they finish this thing out. Tomorrow, the Chattanooga Mocs play. They really need your support. I know it was a big game last week, and they lost, but that's okay. They're going to bounce back. And so let's get out and support the Mocs. And that's tonight. I mean, tomorrow at 1 o'clock at Finley Stadium. So get out and support the Mocs. Don't forget, NASCAR is here. Saturday night at 7:30 is on Hot News Talk Radio, 1240 a.m. Saturday night, 12:30. It's free. We run every lap of every race right here on this radio station, the official home of NASCAR, and football all day on Sunday. Professional football, the NFL's back all day on Sunday. I know there's tons of stuff that Clutch coming up at 1 o'clock. Keon Rose Show will be covering. He's going to be covering all kinds of stuff. I'm sure he's going to talk about the Tennessee-Oklahoma game, which I think is at 6 o'clock. He'll probably spend most of his show talking about the Arkansas-Toledo game. I don't blame him. I would too. And then, of course, you got Mississippi State and LSU, another top 25 matchup that is going to be, I think, at 9:45 on Saturday evening. So there's a ton of stuff to do. Do not forget to listen to Set the Hook with Pat Rose, the #1 weekend show in the city. You need to hear it. He's going to talk about bass fishing. He sprinkles in a little professional wrestling. It's the most entertaining show that you could listen to on the weekends, and it starts here at noon at Hot News Talk Radio, 1240 a.m. I will be gone next week. All next week I will be gone. The Mr. Judd Show is on tour, and Anchorage, Alaska, I believe, is our first or second stop, so we're looking forward to that. At least it's not December. The time has come, the walrus says, for me to say goodbye. Remember, take at least a few seconds of your day to think about those that perished on this day as the Muslims attacked us. Not the extremists, but the Muslims attacked us. They didn't win, but they attacked us. So keep that in the back of your mind. We wish you the best. Give somebody a hug today and smile. And you know what? It'll make your day so much better for it. You're listening to the Mr. Judd Show. This is Hot News Talk Radio, 1240 a.m.
After areas of morning fog, another warm day for your Friday with some sunshine, highs near 85 tonight. Some more quick passing showers and thunder showers move through, lows near 65. For the weekend, clouds, a passing shower possible early Saturday, otherwise breezy and fall-like through Sunday, highs near